Hi, this is Quantribe. Welcome to my channel. In this video, I will show you how easy it is to compute performance of a portfolio in R. So I created two examples, one for stocks, one for crypto, and I created them as a sort of frameworks. Basically, I included in this code like everything from getting data for stocks and for crypto, preparing data, calculating performance of portfolio, calculating some metrics on it, and so on. So the only thing you have to change to run it for your case is basically to change, like stocks you want to use or cryptos you want to use, and that's it. You can execute the code, and this will work for you pretty good. So let's start with stocks. So first piece of code here you can use to install packages. You don't have to run this code. If you have all these packages, you can just execute this piece of the code, and as you can see, nothing happening. So if you have all the libraries, it will be fine for you. If you don't, it will install it for you automatically. So in the next piece of code, I just add libraries I will use for this code. So QuantMod, I'm using it to get data from Yahoo Finance. Tidyverse, I use this for data manipulation, and performance analytics, I use this for portfolio calculations and metrics on portfolio calculations. With this options function, I just set up a default size for my plots in my notebook. So that's quite easy. So here I just define what stocks I want to use in my portfolio. As you can see, I added here it's how many, 9 most popular stocks, and just as an example. So in the next piece of code, I just getting data for all my stocks. So how it works? So with lapply, basically, so for every kind of element of my list, it will execute the following function, and in this function I will just get data from Yahoo Finance. I will get it as a data frame. After that, I will just keep only date and close for every stock. I don't need anything else. After that, I will just compute my P&L, and as you can see, it's quite easy. So basically, I compute it as just close dividing by previous close from previous day and -1. This will be your P&L. As you can see, it's pretty simple. And as the last thing, I just name my P&L for the stock as a symbol. So it's quite easy. So let's execute it and see how it looks. So it's already done. So let's see how it looks. And as you can see, for now, the stocks data list consists of 9 elements, and every element is a data frame with 2 columns, date and a symbol. So now we need to join them in one data frame to launch as performance of portfolio calculation. So here I use a reduce function. Basically what it does, it basically will go through all lists, and will execute this function to join all my data frames in one data frame. And after that, I will just add my date as a row names for my kind of new data frame. And after that, I will just remove date column completely. I need this format to run a portfolio in R. So let's execute it and see how it looks. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. So basically we have our date as our row name, and we have all stocks as a columns, and data for in our data frame is just daily returns. As you can see, it's pretty simple so far. So to calculate portfolio in R, it's extremely easy. The easiest case, you can just use a return.portfolio function without even any other additional parameters. You can just pass your stock data frame that has your returns. So I pass my stock data frame. So let's execute it and see how it looks. So here I just looking at structure of output, and as you can see, it outputs you XTX objects, basically an object that stores a time series in R. So it's pretty basic. It just keeps only the returns for your portfolio. So it's pretty easy, but now you can use this object, and you can launch a different functions from the same performance analytics library to compute different metrics and compute different plots and tables based on your portfolio. So you can start with a chart cumulative returns function, and this will basically plot like what is your cumulative performance over all these years, over this period of time. Also, you can use chart.drawdown functions on your portfolio project, portfolio object, to compute what is your drawdown. As you can see, we had a really big drawdown here in 2018 and 2000 as well, 2020 as well. You can use different functions, for example, table.analyzed returns. So this function will return you like what is your analyzed return, analyzed standard deviation, and analyzed Sharpe as in one table. You can compute other kind of basic statistics with table.stats, and with this will compute stuff like, you know, median of your returns, quantiles, maximum variance, standard deviation, skewness, kurtosis, and so on. And also you can compute a really nice table of monthly returns. For that, I need to create another time series. I need to apply like monthly function with return.cumulative as a function I want to aggregate it with. And this will produce me monthly returns, and after that I can use this monthly returns in table.calendar returns to generate me really nice calendar of my returns. And you will see here monthly returns and yearly in the last column. And this is just an example of what you can do. You can go to performance analytics functions, and there you will find much more functions and tables, whatever you want. You can find there almost everything you need for computing kind of performance and all different metrics. Now let's return to portfolio parameters. In previous example, I just used return.portfolio function without any parameters, and this means that weight was calculated for me just equally. So basically 100% of allocation was spread evenly to all my stocks. But actually you can change this with weights parameter, just pass like a vector of weights for every stock. So I have 9 stocks, so I need to pass like 9 numbers, and with this basically it. We can execute it, and you can see that performance changed for that. So we can play with weights as we want to, just to compute our performance, our portfolio differently. Also, you can add like a parameter. When do you want to rebalance your portfolio? So if you run it without this stuff, I don't think it will be rebalanced ever. So like it will be basically like a bot at the beginning of your period. After that, it will never rebalance. But you can change that. You can choose rebalance you want to use. You can do like monthly, daily, weekly, quarterly, and yearly, I think. So just let's execute to see how it looks. So as you can see, performance changed a bit. Also, you can choose to output not like returns of your portfolio, but you can choose to return wealth index. So let's see how it looks. So basically, wealth index is just kind of representation how much money you will make if you will invest $1 in your portfolio. So as you can see, in the end we have like $9.79 for every dollar invested in our portfolio in the beginning of our period. So it doesn't seem so very bad. And also in returns.portfolio functions, you can use contributions equal to true to compute not only like return of a portfolio, but also to compute contribution of every stock to this to this performance. So as you can see here, we have like our performance of our entire portfolio, but also we can see here kind of contributions of every stocks to the portfolio. And if you will sum up basically all these numbers, you will get this one. So this way you can understand better what performed well in your portfolio and what doesn't. So if you go to crypto, it's almost the same, just a few things are different. So first of all, I need 2 more libraries, JSON Lite and HTTR, to run kind of queries to Binance API. In this example, I use Binance API, but you're free to use anything you want. So here I define just cryptos I want to get in my portfolio. Here I have just 7 random most popular pairs. And after that, here is some code how you can get data from Binance. So here is like a URL for Binance API. Here's some parameters. And after that, I just call it with get function, get content, parse JSON format, and use it as a data frame. So here things are pretty basic. I just assign names for data I just got. I fix data types to have really nice date in the format I want. And after that, I do the same stuff. I basically take only close, I calculate PNL, and I name it also with my pair name. That's basically quite simple as well. Let's execute it and see how it looks. So it seems to work. Now you can look at our crypto data. We have the same basically list of data frames. You can join them together using the same code. And as you can see, here's how it looks. It looks pretty much the same way. And after that, you can go through the same code to execute it and to see performance of this portfolio. And as you can see, it starts like in 2018, and of course it doesn't look very good for us, but I think you got the idea. It's really simple. Whatever you want to do, crypto or stocks, it's pretty simple. You just need to use like only basically one function, return.portfolio. You just need to prepare your data frame the correct way. And after that, you can use various, like parameters to tweak your portfolio a bit. And also you can use different metrics to compute like some metrics of your portfolio to understand how your portfolio performed. So I will leave a link in description to my website where you can find the code I used for both these examples. Let me know if you have any questions and what else do you want to know about Quant in R. Thank you for watching this video. See you next one.